Anxiety makes a lot of day-to-day things extra difficult. Answering phone calls, interacting with other humans, a lot of basic life tasks are a nightmare if you suffer from anxiety. And if you take all of those little things that cause anxiety and add them together, you get dating. So right now, we're bringing you 16 dating situations anxious people dread right here on Listed. Being single comes with its fair share of ups and downs, including the constant dreading and interrogating when someone asks you if you're seeing anyone new. You immediately go into PTSD, like panic state. If the answer is no, then you have to deal with looks of pity. If the answer is yes, then they'll want to know all about the person you're dating, and that's so much pressure. It's a lose-lose situation, really. When you are dating someone new, the anxiety-inducing situations are abundant. Like that moment when you introduce your new significant other to your friends and just pray that no one tells a truly embarrassing story.
Shut up!
Even worse than introducing your significant other to your friends is introducing them to your family. You're the only person in the room that everyone knows, and that's so much pressure. And speaking of dating someone new, there are plenty of one-on-one situations that anxious people just can't handle. Like when it's time to have the talk and DTR. Your soul is just one big crying face emoji because it's the worst. Even if the conversation goes well and you're exactly what you were hoping to be, the first time having sex with someone new is a pool of anxiety. Anxious people get completely stuck in their heads, plagued by questions and worries. Oh God, someone new saw me naked. Do you look good? Does everything look normal? No one ever said it didn't, but what if they were all just being polite? Are you moving too fast, too slow? I don't know.
It's in. Oh my God, it's in.
Even the first kiss is enough to make an anxious person cringe. The moments before a first kiss are supposed to be magical and romantic, but for anxious people, they're a desperate struggle not to vomit and run away. It doesn't have to be sexual to be awkward as hell and make an anxious person lose their mind. That moment at the end of the first date when the check comes and you're not sure who should pay and you awkwardly fumble with your wallet and try to figure out what the social protocol is in 2016. Yeah, anxious people sweat so much during this dance that they basically burn off all the calories from dinner. Picking a place for a first date can also bring about a lot of anxiety. You want to pick somewhere kind of romantic, but not too much that you look desperate. You want to pick a place where you feel comfortable, but not somewhere too basic and boring. You want to pick a place that's affordable, but not so cheap that you seem almost homeless. It's a whole thing. Another important thing to keep in mind when you're picking a place for a first date, somewhere your friends don't frequent. Running into friends when you're out with someone you barely know is stressful as fuck. Texting someone you've just started dating is the actual worst if you're anxious. You overanalyze everything they say like you're a criminal profiler at the FBI, and you're even worse when it comes to overthinking your own texts. It takes all day to have a 6-message conversation because you need so much time to think.
Okay, it went through. The text went through.
The first time you bring a new date or significant other to your apartment is also a nightmare for anxious people. Your place never seems clean enough or cool enough, and parking is always a nightmare, and oh my God, why didn't you just lie and say you were homeless? Once you start spending more time together, the high anxiety situations become even more high stakes. Like the first time you have to go to the bathroom with your new lover right outside in the living room. And no, we don't mean peeing. You're tempted to just leave and never come back rather than deal with the stress, you know? Even once you get comfortable together, the anxieties don't stop. Birthdays and anniversaries and holidays should be great, but they're just a time to prove how well you know your partner by buying them the perfect gift. And nothing ever seems perfect enough. Eventually, if enough holidays and birthdays and anniversaries go well, you realize that you've been with the same person for so long that people are starting to ask weird questions, like when you're going to get married and have kids and why you immediately took 3 Xanax when they asked you the first 2 questions. Even if you manage to dodge the big questions from friends and family, eventually the anxiety will be unavoidable because the future will start to come up, and when you're talking to your partner, words like marriage and forever and hypotheticals about baby names will start creeping into conversations, and they will always leave anxious people searching for a paper bag to breathe into. And then if things stop going so well and the anxious person in the relationship realizes that they need to break things off and move on, a whole new set of anxieties begin because anxious people are not great with confrontation, and no confrontation is more emotional than a breakup.
What?
Well, I've been thinking about it, and I think it's the right thing to do.
You're breaking up with me?
So we've concluded our list of 16 dating situations anxious people dread. Do you suffer from any of these dating anxieties? Are there any other situations that make you super anxious around a potential significant other? If so, tell us about them here in the comment section below. And after that, don't forget to click right over here to check out Awkward First. Thanks so much for hanging out with me here on Listed. I'm your host, Drew Dorsey, and I'll see you next time.